Hello, all. Hey, Jim Shit's already in the house. Wow. Welcome. I am Pearlo Wisdom, and you're listening to Rico and Pearlo's House of Exotic NHL Picks, sponsored by Hymes Body Lube. Where the heck is my lube? What in the... Oh, never far away. Always have one at hand. You know what I'm saying? Hymes Body Lube, it's the best there, I'd say. Okay. Go over today's games. It doesn't sound like Exotic or Rico will be in, so I'm on my own again today. We'll go over our picks from yesterday real quick. And I had a pretty good day. It wasn't a great day. It was a pretty good day. You know what? With Thanksgiving going on, there was a lot of things I missed. And I'll get over that. I'll go over that. I did have Tampa Bay yesterday. Or today, I guess, whatever. I did have Tampa Bay, but I thought it would be an under game. It sure wasn't. But I did take Tampa Bay money line in that, and that helped me out a little bit. Overall, I took a loss on the game. I had Kucherov over shots, though. That saved me. There were a couple of plays that saved me in that game. Paul for a point. So, like, even if I take a loss, I usually end up doing not too bad. I had the Rangers, and I put more on this game. I woke up and found out that Pasternak and Zacha were out, and I just pounded the shit out of this. Why the hell, unless they're going to play them back-to-back, which we'll talk about in a bit, why in hell did they play Shesterkin? So I made quite a bit on that. I put Rangers, everything, team total over, money line, everything. And sure as heck, they came through. It was a terrible spot for the Bruins. We talked about that yesterday. Tomorrow's a terrible spot, too, and we'll talk about that later. The Avalanche, I didn't really put much on this except for the under and under 6.5 and no goals in the first 5 minutes, which I got. But I did have a little bit on Avalanche in regulation, and I was doing it with some trepidation because it really was a wild spot. And the Wild ended up taking it. Good for them. Oh, right. What am I talking about? I had huge on this game. I had and I got this right at the last second because the fuckers wouldn't put in who was going to be playing. So I wasn't able to get it. Over 28.5 saves for Wallstat. I got it right when it opened. And I put 2 units on that game. And that made up for anything I lost on the Lightning for sure. I had the Sabres here. Forget it. I'm never going to bet the Sabres again. 42 shots. Then also, I have to say, I did not know they were going to put Allen in. If I knew they were going to put Allen in, I wouldn't have taken the Sabres in that spot. But I didn't have much on it because I don't trust the Sabres. The under in the Flames game sure didn't come in. And that was kind of eating at me that the Flames might be able to pull this one out here. I didn't take anything on the side, but I lost because I took no goals in first 5 and under 6.5. I'm not sure as hell it didn't happen. But it was there was something funny about that game. I did have Rodriguez for a goal, though. That was cool. And I had him over shots and stuff like that. So I made up a little money on it that way, and it was good. My biggest bet on the Islanders-Flyers game was the over. I had the Islanders team total over 3 and 3.5 when I found out Erison was in. But I also caught a really good number at 22.5 and draw. All right, I did have the draw on that game. So you know what? I'm green on that game because I took Erison over 23.5 saves because my theory, I think the Islanders are getting arm weary, a little weary. Quite often what happens when teams are weary is they I'm doing pretty good this year for sure. There's less sting on their shots too. So I took Harrison over. The Islanders were shooting lots and not scoring after coming off that road trip. So Harrison's not that great, but he's not so bad. If he's going to get, 29, 30 shots, he should be able to get over. Yes, that's very thank you, my friend. Hit that like button. And if you're not yet, subscribe and all of that stuff. And then when you're done with that, when you're done with this program, make sure you go over to the Ice Guys Patreon, where they, for $10, you get some of the finest content in the land. You can swing over to Pearlo's NHL POW and buy me a coffee, and I'll give you some premium picks, which did very well today. And that was one of them. I had Harrison over 23.5 saves for 1 unit on that game. So I was green on that game. Senators versus Blues. I did the no team to score 5 and under, and it didn't come for me. I did like the Blues in that game, but I didn't have the balls to bet it. I didn't really have many props on that game either. So I took a loss on that game. I took a loss. It wasn't a big loss, but I definitely took one. Golden Knights and Canadians. This is where I took a pretty big loss. I had the over in this game at 5.5. I got it last night, and I had 2 units on it, and I didn't get it. Golden Knights. Remember when I was talking on the broadcast last night that I said the Golden Knights struggle against these Eastern teams, and here they go again. Even though they outshot them, gotta give it to Montembeault, man. I mean, he's been struggling, and he has 30 saves on the night. I never would have guessed that. That's why I took the over, and I wouldn't have ever thought that the reason why it didn't go over was because Montembeault shut down the Golden Knights. But look for this in the future when the Golden Knights are playing Eastern teams. They seem to struggle, especially in bad spots like this. Kings versus Ducks. I had the Kings team total over. I had a little on the Kings money line, and I had the over for the game. So I was good that way. What did I have for props in that game? Which turned out really good. I think it was just basic, normal stuff like Carlson for a goal, and can't remember exactly. Oh, that's what it was. I took a shit kicking. And I shouldn't have either. This really pisses me off. I took Clark under 1.5 blocks again, and I should not do that. They're on the road against a division rival. Even a guy like Clark that normally doesn't go over his block shots probably will there. He had one until the last 5 minutes when the Kings were up 4-3, and he ended up with 4. So I definitely didn't hit that. Today was scorched earth, crushed and done. Quack, quack. You had the quack, quack, did you? Good for you. Good for you. Couldn't get there with, what was it, Mrazek? It was Mrazek in that, right? I just couldn't get there with Kemper and the Kings playing as well as they were on the road trips and stuff like that. So couldn't get there. Forwards have to work pretty hard for that LA Kings team, though, because their defense isn't very good. It's not their defense that does well. It's their defense men. It's their forward play. Fantastic defense. Kempe, Fiala, Kopitar, Deno, Fogle when he's in there. These guys are some fine full sheet forwards, and they save their defenseman's ass a lot. But it tires you out when you play like that. It does tire you out. All right. What else do we have here? Canucks and Sharks. I made my money back for the Clark shot block mistake because I had Askarov over saves. Did I mention? Yeah, okay. Askarov over saves. And I had it for about the same on there. And that was my main pick on there. I had a little bit on the Sharks and the over, so it ended up kind of evening itself out that way. I'm pretty sure I had props on that. I can't remember what they were right now, but I'm pretty sure I did because I usually always do. Capitals Leafs, I made a lot of money on this game. I had Capitals. Remember saying that last night. I heard the thing on the Ice Guys today where they talked about how the Leafs practiced and they didn't go to Thanksgiving dinner and all this kind of stuff like that. And then Nylander is all of a sudden sick again and Domi gets sat. Really? He's sick. How the hell is he? He was just sick like not too long ago. This sounds like something happened with him and Domi and Nylander last night. And Nylander called in sick, and Domi came in and said, "Yeah, I'm kind of you looking rough." And he went, "Oh yeah, okay." After all we practiced and being serious and really wanting to win this game, you guys go out last night and do whatever you do, whatever they did. But something happened there, and I didn't even know about that when I liked Washington to win the game. So once that was in, I didn't get time to be able to, when I found that out, to be able to post more on there, but I put a lot on it. I also had the team total over. And I think that might be it with Nylander. They practiced all day. Nylander's, I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know him personally or anything, but he seems to do this kind of stuff quite a bit. And I don't think he likes Berube that much. He's kind of like a come as you go type of guy who, like just takes things one step, once it takes things in stride. I don't think he likes to be too serious too much. I don't know. I don't know what it's all about, but I'll tell you this. If you practice on Thanksgiving and you don't and Berube just do your normal day, and you don't do any Thanksgiving stuff, you don't bring the family in, and you don't do all that kind of stuff like that, and then you go and lose that very game, there's something amiss. And I am going to be fading Toronto, which I have been anyways, but even more than I have before. Anyways, I had Washington team total over. I had Chychrun over shots. He got that. I had him for a goal. I had Protus for shots. I made good on that game. I'm not red today. I'm not red. I didn't have a bad day. I'm green. I'm just a little bit green. I've been doing that a lot lately. I can't remember when I've had a red day. Hurricanes versus Jets. Do you remember last night when I was saying that kid, Milic, you watch, he will go balls out and stop everything. Now, he didn't stop him at the end. Carolina finally got to him, but I found an over saves for him when I put half a unit on FanDuel. And he got over. I also had over on the game, but it was a 6 and it pushed. Should have put more on Carolina. Oh, I think last night I said take Winnipeg, but the more I thought about it, I was like, that's not a spot. The Winnipeg can win. So I kind of just left the side alone. I took the over, I pushed, and then I got that half a unit on there. I had Svechnikov over shots. I got that. And there was another one too, an assist prop or something like that. I hit that. So it did pretty well. You can go check on my Twitter, everything that I had. I don't remember all this stuff. I don't have it in front of me. What's next? Also, I usually do remember a little more than this, but it's been pretty hectic with Thanksgiving. Remember when I said last night, just take Pittsburgh because they win and nobody knows why the fuck they do? Well, there you go. There you go. I had a smidge on Pittsburgh in this game. Problem is, I also had Greaves over saves, and he did not get it. It was 23.5. So he didn't get it. I did have Crosby for a goal. I have to look. I had an assist prop that I think came in. I can't remember what it was, but it was a good price assist prop. And for the Blue Jackets, I had Werenski over shots, and I don't know if he got it or not. And I had Fantilli over shots, and I didn't get that. So I think overall, even though I did take the right side here, I took a bit of a loss on this game. Was it Kindle? Oh, I know what it was. It was Melkin. Oh, no. It was Crosby ATG. I can't remember, anyways. But, anyways, I think, yeah, I did take a bit of a loss on this because I don't think that Werenski got over. Pretty sure he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't get over shots. And Fantilli, I'm really surprised. He didn't even come close. He only had one shot. So my big shot props on there didn't come in. So I took a loss on that game. What do we have next? What did we talk about? Canucks, Maple Leafs, Capitals, Hurricanes, Penguins. Oh, Blackhawks. I didn't really play any. I played the over on this game, but not for very much. I didn't really have much on this game. I had a feeling Nashville was going to win it, but I just played the over. I think I had a little bit like little props here and there. I just didn't have a good read on it. Sometimes you just don't have a good read on a game. And I didn't really have much time for this game. I was very busy. And Stars and Mammoth, I had Mammoth first period and full game and the over. So they didn't get a full game, but they did get the first period. I had a really good shot prop on here too. Keller. I had Keller over shots. And I took a shot at Yamamoto for a goal, but he didn't get one. Oh, that's what it was. Sergachev, and I got a full unit on this. For Sergachev, over 1.5 shots and under 1.5 blocks. I hit both of them. I got to start parlaying them together because he's did it like 3 games in a row. And I put a full unit on each. So I was very up on that game. And as you can tell, at the end of the day, I end up being just a little bit, I end up being a little bit green. That's kind of the way I bet. That's why I bet volume, because if you take what I find to be probabilities of happening and play them in volume, at the end of the day, or especially at the end of the year, you'll be green. I haven't been red in hockey in 4 years ever. So, oh, when you scored, oh, you did get that, right? Yeah, I don't know how good he's going to be, Milic. I don't know, but I do know that rookies, when they play their first game, sometimes they don't end up being all that great. It depends on the spot too. Carolina's the perfect team to put a rookie against because they throw a lot of rubber on it, on the net, and they generally don't make goalies go side to side. They just got to be in their spot, and they're usually so dialed in that they'll stop everything. They'll look like they're freaking awesome. And you can go like there's lots of goaltenders had their first game and they look, oh, this guy's amazing. And then they're in the AHL now and they're not that great. Like over time, it's hard to it's a little easier. It's hard to say, like, unless you're like an extreme goalie guy and you know all this stuff about the goalies in the AHL. Once teams get a book on you, once they find out what your weaknesses are, then it's a matter of whether you can adjust or not. And that's what great goaltenders do. Like Dobish last year, when they found out this over the glove side, and he just got sprayed for a while and he got sent down to the AHL. So anyways, should probably look at the games for tomorrow. I've looked at one of the games already. Have they even got him on DK yet? Nope. No games for you. I don't think so, anyways. Nope, they don't. So I'm going to have to find it on the 365. So I probably won't be able to do team totals and stuff like that much because they don't even have it on Bet365. Okay. Should have checked this first before I started. I know where I'll get it. I'll get it on OddShark. Yeah, here we go. OddShark. So we'll start off with Tampa versus the Rangers. And I already did a small video on this. At Caesars right now, you can get a plus 105. I guess at BetMGM you can too. Oh, it's probably on BetMGM. You can look at it. And as far as the total is concerned, BetMGM has a 6 at minus 125. I actually got it at minus 120. I kind of like the over here. So Tampa Bay is playing 4 games in 6 nights and a back-to-back, as are the Rangers. The Rangers have traveled a little more, though. Tampa had 2 games at home and then played Detroit and now are playing the Rangers. Now, neither one of them have had the strongest competition over this stretch. Tampa has played. Now they're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game winning streak. One of those games was against Edmonton, who kind of had actually a pretty decent game against them. Although they did outshoot them 35-25, and for Tampa to do that, that's a lot because they're not a high volume shooting team. They quite often get outshot and win games. They look for their spots. Then they won. Then they went to Washington and had an impressive game there. I think Lindgren was in net there though, but still, it's still an impressive win in that spot. It was one game on the road, and they scored 5 in that game. Then they played Philly at home, which is they're a decent team, but they dummied them pretty good. They wouldn't give them the puck. Philly only got 18 shots. They just really hemmed them in with their passing, which is what they do. And then Calgary, of course, 5-1, didn't at home, and then went on the road and beat a Detroit team who I was having a discussion with Doug yesterday, and he was like, take Detroit or whatever. I'm like, no, I'm not. So not the greatest of competition, but when you look at the Rangers, they are on a 3-game winning streak. That winning streak started when they came off the Western road trip and they barely beat St. Louis, which actually wasn't a bad win because it was a bad spot. I got to give them credit for that. They kept it low. St. Louis didn't shoot a lot, which is often what they do. Then they beat Carolina, and they had no business doing it. Carolina outshot them 18-38. And I watched that game, and they just got really fortunate to get some clean shots, and Anderson wasn't at his best. Then they played Boston, who I just talked about, who had no Pasternak and no Zaka. And for some reason, they play Shesterkin. Now, I don't know if they're going to play Shesterkin back to back. I find it very odd. I know that Vasilevsky probably won't play back to back. So we're going to see Johansson here. If not, it's going to be another kid, like I talked about before with Carolina, like I was just talking about. It's kid Garand, I believe his name. And he should be dialed in for this game. And I have a feeling that's likely who it's going to be. But either way, I'm saying the same thing here as I did. Garand is his name, Doug. And his AHL numbers last year were pretty good. This year, not so great. But, I mean, they're not horrible. And the AHL, it's funky. You really can't often tell by the numbers. I don't think that Rangers team down there is that great, so it's hard to say. They don't play defense as well down there, but he was a 4th round pick, And like I said, his numbers last year were pretty good. And you should be pretty dialed in here. But if there's one team you don't, remember when I said Carolina's a team you want to put a guy in with? Tampa's not the guy you want to put a rookie in with. Because Tampa is going to pass from side. It's going to move you side to side. They do it to every goaltender. It doesn't matter who it is. They pass side to side. They look for their spots and they shoot. So right now it's plus 105 for Tampa Bay. I'm taking it. Also, the Rangers are 1-6-4, I think, at home with first periods. And Tampa is 6-2-2. So I'm taking first period money line, first period puck line, Tampa Bay. I like the over in the game at 6. With Johansson in, I think the Rangers are going to be up for this game too. Don't get me wrong. And if they are, I don't think they're shutting Tampa Bay down. And Johansson always lets a couple in. I could see this being 4-5-2, something like that. So if I get the push, that's fine. But I'm taking Tampa, and I'm going to take team. You can get team total over 3 whenever BetMGM decides to give it to you. At probably about a minus 140 or something like that. Take that and over 3.5, and you're probably good. Look at that Rangers defense. Every time I look at it, I'm like, really? This is the defense you're going with? And this Tampa Bay team could make it Swiss cheese. The only thing I'm concerned about with the over is both of these teams are in bad spots. They're both on a back-to-back, all of that kind of stuff like that. So if you're liking the over 2, maybe take a little bit on the over. That's what I'm going to do, 6 now. And wait a while and try to get a 5.5, because this may start slow with both teams being on a back-to-back in a different spot. You think there will be goals too? Yeah. And it's a day game, which I don't generally like to play overs on a day game. But in this case, it just seems to set up well. And the last 2 times they played, let's see, head-to-head. Yeah, head-to-head, they're mostly to the over. It's kind of a mixed bag either way. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm going to go over these quick, and I'll get into it more tomorrow when I do my evaluations, which I don't know. Like I said, right now, with Thanksgiving and everything, I don't know how much time I'm going to have for everything. All right, Colorado, Montreal. Colorado coming off a loss. Both of them on a back-to-back. It's really hard to go against Colorado right now. I mean, the price is ridiculous. It's disrespectful to Montreal. But Colorado's coming off of a big, like, plus 202. Right? What the hell? What the hell? And they're going to have Backlund in there. Dobish will be in that. Is there any revenge in here? I don't know how to bet it. I can't see an under. That's all I can say. Colorado may go in and say, hey, we want to shut this Montreal team down, but I'm not so sure about that. I can't see an under. Can you get a 6 anywhere? Probably not. Probably not. I'm half tempted to take Montreal. I'm tempted. You can get a 6. Oh, what is that? FanDuel. Right now, you can get a 6. So I think I'd take the over. Yeah, it's possible. I just like the over more than anything. I don't really want to take Colorado minus 1.5. I want to give Montreal respect. Maybe in the morning I put some pizza money on Montreal here. Maybe. Because, I mean, they're coming balls out against every team right now. 5 meetings with Colorado. Yeah, but this is a different Colorado team. That's the thing. This is a different Colorado team. And that's why Minnesota, I said yesterday, was a spot for Minnesota, because they had this Montreal game coming up. And I don't think they were going to want to go balls out. They were happy with that draw. This game, though, they might want to go balls out against this team. They might. All you're concerned about with Colorado is whether they want to put the full effort to win the game or not. If they do want to do that, they're going to win the game against just about anybody out there. That's pretty much the way I see it right now. Is it a look ahead spot for Colorado? Maybe 3 games in 4 nights for Montreal. They played Utah, Vegas back to back. Yeah, I don't think I could get there with Montreal here, man. It's 3 games in 4 nights for Colorado too. Most of them at home. I think I'll just take over first period. Both teams to score first period. Over 6. And then I'll live bet the rest. If it looks like Montreal wants to win that game, maybe Montreal will be down first. Take Montreal to score a goal in the first. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, they can easily stay within a goal. Colorado can easily win this 7-3. Colorado can easily win this 7-3 if they want to. You got a team on a back-to-back that's been on the road for 3 games. They got a defense that's pretty mild. They only got one way they can play. Montreal's only got one way. They can't shut you down. They got to play. They got to get in deep, get possession, pass the puck around, and score. And they got to out-energy you. And they do that well. Don't get me wrong. But Colorado has like 7 different ways they can play. They can shut you down. They can play a 1-2-1. They can play a 3-1-1. Yeah, I'll look at the over and then I'll look at some props for this game. And Dobish, I don't know. He's been up and down this year. Backlund. Yeah, like I said, it depends on how much they want it. What is the next game for these guys? Montreal goes home right after this. So that's a spot where they're like a little happy. If they lose this game, they already went 2-1 on the road trip. If they win, it's 3-1. Then Colorado is playing Vancouver. It doesn't really matter to them either. So, yeah, over. All right, next game. Now watch Colorado go and shut down Montreal. They could do that. Montreal could just shut down Montreal. They're the best defensive team in the league and the best offensive team in the league. So I don't know. I don't even want to look at the record in pass because this is a different Colorado team than Montreal has ever played. And Colorado, one thing I will look at is when's the last time they played against each other, because that's a big one. Colorado should not be taken by surprise. The last time it was 5-4 in a shootout. That was March 22nd. That was last year. So that was at the end of the year, all that kind of stuff like that. The only thing I will say, there's one thing I will say here. Colorado broke a long winning streak. And I often like to bet against teams that lose a long winning streak because it's kind of a letdown spot for them. Wow, the streak is over. Now it's like, whew, maybe you could see a dip here. I just might put a little bit on Montreal for the fun of it tomorrow. Okay, next game. Edmonton, Seattle. I mean, if Edmonton doesn't win this one, for the love of God. I mean, not that Seattle's a bad team. Don't get me wrong. Okay, but they've had rest. They are in desperate situation. Seattle struggles a bit with teams with speed and size, although they don't have great size. They opt to outwork you. If you outwork Seattle and you outskate them, you should win. This seems like an Edmonton spot. It's minus 149 at Braco. I don't even know what Braco is. I don't know what Braco is. Anybody know what Braco Sportsbook is? Minus 154 you can find. Minus 149. I mean, I would love to take him in a regulation, but I think I'll just take him on the money line. They got to win that game, man. It's a must. They can't. They're at 500. Like, if they lose this game, it's. And believe me, I'm not going to put a lot on it. I'm not going to put a lot on it. As much Seattle just lost to Dallas in a hard-fought battle. It's a 6. I kind of like the over because Skinner's in net. I mean, the Kraken are a low volume team, shooting team. Although they did get lots of shots. So didn't they play? They just played on the 25th of October and they beat Edmonton. So it's a revenge game. They lost to Dallas. They lost to the Islanders off the road trip. They lost to Dallas the first game back in a tight one. And who do they have next? They have. Oh, is this at Edmonton? No. Oh, this is a home and home. So they play here and then they go to Edmonton. Depends on who Edmonton puts in net. Give me the. I hate that game. Yeah, they are sad, but they had a terrible road trip. I mean, they had a terrible schedule for the first month of the season. Now, I shit on the Oilers. I not because I think they're a bad team, but because I think they're not as good as people think they are. That's why. I was saying that in the playoffs that they're not as good as the people think they are. They were getting pretty fortunate with some high percentage shooting by players that are not very good, and it's not just their goalies; it's their forwards that are the problem. They have their third and fourth line forwards allow defenses to just fly into the neutral zone at top speed. It's crazy. It's like the Islanders were last year. They don't know what they're doing. Roslovic isn't in right now, but I mean, Kapanen's back. He doesn't know what he's doing. These guys don't have the mind for defensive understanding of the game in the neutral zone. They don't. They don't know where to be in their spots for passes from the defenseman. That is their biggest problem. I'm telling you right now, if they go out and get Binnington and they don't fix that, you're going to think Binnington sucks because that is the problem. this game is background noise? What do you mean? You're hearing background noise? I don't know. I don't have anything on. I have nothing on around me. Pretty much. They need lucky winning shoot. Or they need I think Draisaitl and McDavid in this game can win this game. It's just minus 152. Do you want to play? Because Seattle, you better come to work. If you're not coming to work, Seattle will beat you. That's why they're 11-6-2. They will work. They don't get a lot of shots on goal, but they will work their tails off against everybody. That's what's great about Seattle. Same effort, 4 lines, roll it. Fuck, I might be talking myself into Seattle here. Whatever, I would lean to the over anyways. I would lean to the over. If it's Seattle, it's probably an under, but I would lean to the over. Interesting game to watch. I mean, it's hard to back Edmonton, but that's an Edmonton spot, and they should win it. Simple as that. All right, I guess that's all I have to say about that game. Next, Winnipeg, Nashville. I mean, this is a Winnipeg spot. They coming off that loss against Carolina. Nashville beat Chicago today, right? They were on a road trip. They had a successful road trip out east. First game back after a successful road trip. This should definitely be a Winnipeg spot. But Winnipeg's been on the road trip for a while, too. This feels like a draw. Winnipeg. Holy shit, I was just looking ahead to Winnipeg's schedule. Oh my gosh. Next week, it's brutal. 3 games in 4 nights, back to back. Carolina and Nashville isn't very far. Is Nashville playing 3? I think Nashville's playing 3 games in 4 nights, 4 games in 6 nights. Played Detroit and then Chicago and then came home. This should be Ahonen and net. Give me the over again. What's the total here? Is it a 5.5, please? Holy shit. Yeah, it's a 5.5. Oh, you can get 5.5 at minus 130 at Caesars Sportsbook. Grab it. Grab it. Or you can, yeah. 2 bad goaltenders. 2 teams need to win. Maybe they play for the draw and this ends up as an under. Winnipeg's having a hard time scoring right now. Nashville's actually is scoring right now. So give me over 5.5. I probably the number on Winnipeg is going to be unfair. I would imagine. To money line. Minus 120. I think Winnipeg, they haven't won a game on this road trip. I don't think, have they? I like, and I do this often, if a team's had a really bad road trip, the last game of that road trip, they will drain it. They will drain it. Yeah, they haven't won on the road trip. They haven't won in 4 games now. And Nashville beat a Detroit team they never should have beat. They beat Chicago. They actually played well against Colorado in that first game. But I don't think they're going to win 3 in a row. Winnipeg do they have another roadie after this? Oh, they still have more on this road trip yet. Jesus. They got to go to Buffalo after this. They go to Nashville, to Buffalo, to Montreal. But minus 120, I'd give Winnipeg a shot there. They got to be desperate in that game. And I still think any team that's desperate to beat the Nashville Predators will beat the Nashville Predators. Yeah, both teams have their suspects, that's for sure. But Scheifele, Velarde, that top line should be able to go to work on that team. I'm not gonna take Nashville's 2-game win streak, but I like the over better anyways. I'll put some on Winnipeg. I'll look at like maybe first period over. Winnipeg first period. Nashville's coming in a little fat. Winnipeg's desperate. I could see them getting back on their heels right away. Winnipeg first period. And maybe with Ahonen in, team total over if it's a decent price. Hey, how you doing? Glove save. Thank you all for coming in, by the way. I want to say that before I go. Grant, Charlie, 87 shot attempts, 42 shots on goal, and 0 for Buffalo Sabres. Let's not talk about it. Thanks. Yeah, it's just a voodoo team, man. It's a voodoo team. You never know what they're going to give you. You never know that fucking team, what they're going to give you. I just don't want to bet on them anymore. And now we're going to that team right now. They got the Sabres. Which goaltender is going to be in? You don't know anything with this team. Like, which was it? Oh, yeah, it was. It's going to be Luukkonen, right? Are they going to put the kid in? Minnesota Wild's going to have Gus in. Sabres on the road against Minnesota Wild after beating the Colorado Avalanche. This should be a letdown spot for Minnesota Wild. Should be. Absolutely no doubt about it. You just had the biggest game of your life and little old Buffalo's coming in. For sure it should be a letdown spot. But how the hell do you trust Buffalo with anything? And as soon as you don't trust them, they'll fucking win. Guaranteed. If I say I don't trust Buffalo, they'll win this game. For sure. It's there. One thing I can say is the Wild have finally started scoring. And Buffalo, what? They've allowed 5, 4 against Carolina. What is it? Carolina, they were outshot against Carolina 1-4-1. They decided they want to play against Chicago. Then Pittsburgh came to town. They played. In that one, they were outshot and they lost. No, they went to Pittsburgh. They outshot them and they lost. They actually deserved a better fate. You can make a case that they are playing better. They're just not getting goals. You can make a case for that. They're not scoring. This Minnesota team is feeling it right now. So I kind of lean the over here. How many games have they played in a row? Buffalo has played 21 every second night, pretty much. They've been mostly at home. They're not totally taxed. Minnesota played that game off of sort of Eastern, Western crazy road trip and went to a shootout. Two days off, came home, played Colorado. I mean, this is a Buffalo spot again. It's totally a Buffalo spot. I'm not betting them. I'm not betting them, and they will win. That's what I'm saying right now. I'm not betting Buffalo, and they will win. This is a perfect – if it's not Buffalo, if it's like pick any other team in the league, Detroit, Pittsburgh, whatever – coming in after a huge win against the mountain team in the land, like your ultimate rival. You have this huge win, and then Buffalo comes into town. If it's or Pittsburgh comes into town, or maybe even Nashville comes into town, or anything like that, straight up, I'm taking the other side here. Straight up. And really, you should be taking Buffalo here. This is a Buffalo spot. No doubt about it. But what are you going to get for them? They just outshot the shit out of New Jersey. They got goalied. Are they going to come in all pissed off? Are they going to, I don't know. I don't know with this fucking team. Like, I always think, okay, they're going to come in. They got outshot. They're pissed. Coach is going to tell them, you know what? Should have won that game. You keep on playing like that. You're gonna keep on winning games, all that kind of stuff like that. And they'll come in here and completely fucking shit the bed. Almost for sure. Almost for sure. The only thing I can say is they are going from Buffalo to Minnesota, and then they're coming back home to play Winnipeg. So it's not really a great Buffalo spot either. It's not really the best Buffalo spot. But even that, I should be able to bet Buffalo here and feel comfortable about it. I should. But you can't trust that fucking team. I don't know who's going to be in that. I think if they put the kid in, maybe I'll put a sliver on it and bet on the over and see what happens. I probably won't put much of anything on this game. Plus 135. Can you bet Minnesota in regulation against Buffalo? Sure you can. It's Buffalo. I mean, fuck. Even on a back-to-back, they're both on a back-to-back too. So, I don't know. Minnesota in regulation, fuck, I'll shut up and play the over, I guess. Just never know with that fucking Buffalo team. Let me go to the next game. Utah versus St. Louis. Utah coming off that loss to Dallas. St. Louis playing it back-to-back. They just beat Ottawa. Hofer will be in net, and Vanacek will be in net. I'll give Utah a shot here at plus 100. Bounce back spot. They played pretty good against Dallas. The only thing is they're a small team, and that's what scares me. Because St. Louis is a big team. And the St. Louis is on a bit of a roll now. Utah is not very good on the road. But I would put a little bit on Utah here. Just looking at it from face value, I haven't seen Utah. No. I don't want to take St. Louis as a home dog. So you got to remember, okay, they beat Ottawa. But Ottawa was in a terrible spot there. Yeah, they lost to New Jersey. They lost to the Rangers. You could play the draw. Draw seems to be happening all the time here. They don't need a draw, but Ottawa was in a terrible spot. They've been on a road forever. Utah is not in that horrible of a spot here. They beat Vegas, lost to Montreal 4-3, lost to Dallas 4-3, first game on the road. They have this one, and then they're playing San Jose, Anaheim, and Vancouver. I would lean over to Utah, especially if Hofer's in there. I may take team total over for Utah. The only major concern is that St. Louis is a big team. They're solid, but size-wise, Utah's got really small forwards. Yeah, this is 3 games in 4 nights for St. Louis too. 4 games in 6. And for Utah, it's it's the same thing. So much of that this year. Like everybody's playing 4 games in 6 nights. With travel. This St. Louis without travel. These are making it really tough. I would just play Utah or nothing. I just can't with Hofer and net. I kind of trust Vanacek more. Yeah, Utah. I'll put a little bit on Utah. I'll probably be more on props there. There's probably some really good props. Do that, Sergachev, no blocks, 1.5, under 1.5 blocks and over 1.5 shots. That'll probably be my best bet in this game. I would bet. That's probably my best bet in this game. It hits every single day for like 3 straight. All right, next. Vancouver, Los Angeles. Look at that. Again, well, of course, they're all on a back-to-back because everybody fucking played. What am I thinking about? They're all on 4 games in 6 nights. LA minus 179 at home. Vancouver's putting Topolio or whatever in, and Los Angeles will be putting in Forsberg. Just play over. Vancouver's an over team, all this shit. I think the best thing to do with all this stuff is just play totals. Play the over. That's my first thought, is to play the over in that game. 6.5. You can find 6 at minus 118 at FanDuel right now. FanDuel's got all the 6s right now. But the Vancouver finally went and broke their over streak yesterday against San Jose. It was close. They almost got it. I'm trying to see the matchup. Where is it going? There we go. Vancouver, LA. Evening game on a Saturday night, too. Both of the backups in. Head to head, they've been they last played last year at February 26th. But look at before last game, yesterday's game, and that was mostly Askarov that kept that under like usual. That kid is fucking insane. That's why I took him over saves. Over 5-4, 5-2, 4-2, 5-8, Vancouver. I'd also take I'd take LA here too. Coming off a loss against Anaheim, I mean, I would take LA for sure. And it was 5-4 against Anaheim. Now at home, they played 2 unders against Ottawa and Boston. But with Forsberg in net, I don't see it. And Vancouver just will get scored on anyways. So over 6, I like LA. Just Vancouver team has been playing on the road a lot. And I mean, they're not a great team. That's simple as that. So it's just whether that Tolopolio guy or whatever the fuck his name is going to have another outing like he did last time. And I find that highly unlikely. Like, I like to take the new guys when they play their first game, not necessarily their second game. That's when more the adrenaline turns more into nerves. I just don't know what the price is because it's taking so long. All right. Money line, Vancouver. They're probably getting it's minus 179. Of course it is. Of course it is. Just take LA team total over. Vancouver always plays hard. Over for the game. Leave it at that. You don't want to play minus 182. So what I will do in these types of games is I'll look at the second periods and see if one has an advantage over the other. Maybe play over second period or something like that. That's usually where I'll find better value than just betting LA. Right off the cuff, though, with Vancouver coming in from San Jose, LA's coming from Anaheim. LA coming off a loss. I'm probably going to play Los Angeles puck line first period. Probably. And finally, San Jose versus Vegas. I don't know. If Vegas doesn't win this one, then they should just go freaking shit themselves. How do you take it at minus 130, minus 345? They're not in good form. Anaheim's coming up to winning against Vegas. I mean, Vegas has been allowing a lot of goals too. And who's their backup? Oh yeah, like backup. It's another over here. I might go San Jose team total over in this game. San Jose is a lot harder on the road though. Vegas should be pissed after that loss. Vegas is funny. Vegas is like the Buffalo of the West, except they're good. But you still quite often they're funny. They're funny. I imagine Cassidy will have these guys fucking ass in a sling for that loss in Montreal because it was closer than it should have been. Like they didn't play with a lot of passion in that game. If you play with a lot of passion and you want to win against San Jose, you will likely beat San Jose. But a lot of teams, they say, oh, San Jose, so they just, it's just San Jose. Well, it's not just San Jose anymore. This guy's got some good players on there. Really good players. They got a superstar on that team. Are you seriously gonna have your head that far up your ass? Like they haven't. I think they're on a 4-game losing streak now, aren't they? Vegas has won like every time they played, but that was a different San Jose team. Whether they lost to Anaheim, they gave up 4, gave up 5, gave up 4, gave up 4. Now against Montreal, they only allowed 18 shots against. So goaltending is an issue here. San Jose's been outshot a lot lately, but they're still winning on occasion because they've got such good shooters there. Celebrating Smith. I'd take a little shot with San Jose. The way they're playing right now, maybe team total over 2.5. You get that at a pretty good price. Oh, shoot. You guys are saying a whole lot of stuff, and I don't even know what you're saying. You love the Habs. Sharks plus 2 goals, minus 122. I don't mind. I wish it was Askarov and that would be better, but Stoner is back. I know. It didn't help out today, though, did it? Oh, the Wings versus Bruins. Just tell you to take the Wings. Wings first period, money line, Wings, everything. I don't know if Pasternak will be back. I don't know if they just rested him for that game and basically sold that game out. It's possible. Take Swayman over saves. Swayman over saves. Whatever his saves are at, take it over saves. Because that is a horrible spot for the Bruins. Terrible. They've been on a ridiculous road trip. They come back for one day. It's come back for one day and you got a game right after that, after a really long Western road trip and everything. That is hard enough. To have a back-to-back right after that, that is fucking crazy. That is not a thing. I can't remember a time when a team went on like a 7-game road trip, played a game out east, came over, had 1 day off at home, and then had to play a back-to-back right after that. So 3 games in 4 nights on a back-to-back after a 7-game road trip. If Detroit doesn't win that game, they might as well just pack it in. They might as well just end it. That's it. It's over. We're no good. There's no way. I think they let Pasternak and Zacha have a break because at least they got some legs in that game. So Pasternak and Zacha are both checked too. So they might have had family come in. I don't know exactly what happened there. If they're still hurt though, slam the shit out of Detroit. And if Detroit doesn't win that game, you have full authority by me to throw whatever you can at anyone part of that organization. Because if you can't win that game, you can't win. That is impossible that you can't win that game. Yeah, it's impossible. Yes, I'll put I wish it wasn't Detroit, because Detroit is one of the flakiest teams in the league, but they did get Edvinsson back against, and they're coming off of a loss against Tampa Bay. They got to win that game. They're probably 3 games in 4 nights too, right? I would imagine, but it won't matter. It's not as bad of a spot as what yeah, they're in 3 games in 4 nights too. I don't know why it matters, but I'm going to see. It's a division rival. Like, you're going to have your better goaltender in that. Swayman could win that game. That's all I can say. I mean, he won it against the Islanders. The Bruins were dead against the Islanders. They only got like 16 shots in that game. Swayman stopped 45. And I think he could do something like this, but I just can't see them winning that game. Yeah, Raymond for sure, points or whatever, but you got to take Detroit. What's the money line on that? You can't take Boston. There's no way. If you're going to take Boston, you take Swayman over saves, because Swayman will have to win that game for them. That's why he's going to be in. And I mean, he can do it. Detroit, Boston. Minus 138 for Detroit is 36. There's nothing wrong with that price. I'm surprised Boston's getting only plus 120. I think they're trying to make people think it's a fishy line. Let's see here if there's a chance that they're back in. Undisclosed. I have a feeling that Zacha and Pasternak will be back in this game. Does anybody have any intel on what happened? Score prediction. Seriously, Detroit loses this game if they allow 2 goals. Really? This should be like 5-1. Something like that. It's an absolute slam spot for Detroit. Well, this is a home and home too. So Detroit plays in Boston, and then Boston goes back and wins and plays in Detroit. Probably wins in Detroit, as I was about to say. Yeah, okay, Grant. Thanks for coming in. But I mean, I can't see anything other than that there. It's just such a terrible spot for Boston. If Detroit loses that game, it was a smart move by the coach, though, to leave Zaka and Pasta out. I don't know why he didn't leave Geeky out, too. He might as well left, I would have just mailed in that game against Rangers. Just like, oh, we got a flu going on or whatever, and half the team sits out and they bring some guys up and they go. Maybe they just took the most banged up guys. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they're in tomorrow. What do you think, Doug? Can you see any other way? It should be 5-1. It's Swayman, though. That's the thing. It could be 3-1 or 3-0 or something like that. Swayman could stop 46 shots or whatever. And you do got the Boston home ice, so that's going to give them energy right off the get-go. But overall, it'll die. Detroit's second period puck line. I think Detroit's terrible at first period. So Detroit second period puck line, third period puck line. If they haven't scored so many already by then it don't matter. But like I said, I'm saying this over and over again because Detroit already had a great spot. They had Nashville in a great spot, and they lost it. I just can't see how the rest of the team has any legs. That's two guys. It's only two guys. Playing a back-to-back 3 games in 4 nights after a 7-game road trip. That's fucking absolutely insane. All right, I'm going to clip this shit. Hymes body lube. It's the best. There I said it. For all your body lube needs, my friends, and everybody needs a body lube. Talking about that, I have to head down to the Costco tomorrow and get myself all the ingredients for Hymes to bring to the factory. Our truck broke down yesterday, so we got to go do that. And the Pearlo copter had a little bit of a mishap. I don't know exactly what happened, but one of the blades on the back end there is all bent. So I got to call a Pearlo copter mechanic, and he's got to come out and take a look at that tomorrow. Yeah, even a horrid team can't beat that. Anyways, so we got to look at that tomorrow. So I'm a busy boy. I hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving. Nobody shared this out yesterday. If anybody shared this to their Twitter yesterday, and I didn't see it, let me know down there. Let me know down there if you shared it out, and I didn't see it. I'm a little disappointed. There was it wasn't the highest like button that I've seen too. You guys are usually really pretty adept at having those. So you do your like button push-ups like that. There you go, like that. That's what I do. There, see, get some strong, right? And then you can just dump, like that. It's for crazy. It's awesome, man. Just like that. I saw that on the YouTube. Like button finger yoga. So yeah, I'll be tapping that. And comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think about this fine programming. All right, I'm going to clip this out. For you, anybody that just came in, they're probably just coming in right now because they didn't want to sit me blah, 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 blah. They just want to know what the picks are. But I'll go over the games real quick. For all of you in clip land, thank you for coming in and listening to this fine programming. All right, Tampa Bay Rangers. I'm taking Tampa Bay. I don't trust the Rangers. Tampa Bay is playing awesome. I'm going to take them first period puck line. And I like the over in that game. Watch out, though. I just got this sneaky feeling that the Rangers may play Shesterkin back-to-back here. and Tampa will play Johansson. But regardless, I think Tampa is just that defense for the Rangers. If Tampa's playing the way they've been playing, they'll Swiss cheese the fuck out of them. I'm telling you right now. They will. The only thing I don't like about this game is it's a last game where they have a break off for a while and they're on this really long road trip. Not road trip, but winning streak, I should say. Could be kind of a spot where they kind of maybe stop a little earlier than they should and, get a little back on their heels and stuff in the third or something like that. And the Rangers come back and take this. So maybe throw a little bit of a draw on there. Montreal, Colorado, I still got to think about this game more. But minus 250 over. I'll just take the over for now. I'm going to take the over. Montreal is not. Colorado can shut down Montreal. Montreal cannot shut down Colorado. And if Colorado's playing full bore in this game, if they really want to win this game, they'll win it. But at minus 250, what are you going to do? So, and if Colorado is playing full bore, they'll probably win this 5-2 anyways, and you get the over. So I'm going to look at the over. If it's tight, like the last couple games have been when these guys have played and it's a draw, more than likely it'll be in the 3-3 range, something like that. I can't see one team allowing the other one not to score in this game. Also, I'll take a look at, I like the over first period and both teams to score first period. And I'll look at the period plays. I don't know how strong Montreal is on second periods and all that kind of stuff like that. Edmonton, Seattle, I hate this game. Edmonton should definitely win this game. There's no doubt about it. This is a gotta get right. This is a get right spot. This is Seattle. If you play with pace, if you play hard, you win this fucking game. That's it. No doubt about it. You play full 60 minutes all the way through, you win this game. Will they do that? I don't know. Seattle's going to play hard. That's for sure. So if I like Edmonton, I may end up taking the draw on this. I don't know. That's the hardest one on the card. Winnipeg, Nashville. I'm going to take Winnipeg at minus 120. I know they've been losing a lot, and Nashville's been winning a lot, but Winnipeg is in desperation mode in this game. And should be Comrie versus useless asinine. And if you can't win with them in net when you're in a desperation spot, we'd be fading Winnipeg for a long time. If Winnipeg doesn't win this game, I'd be fading them for a long time, and I'll actually be betting them to miss the playoffs, which I wanted to do before the season started, but I love Jonathan Toews so much, I couldn't get my heart to do it. But honestly, when I looked at the roster and I really knew in my heart that Toews probably wasn't a second-line center anymore, I wanted to do that. And so there you go. They're not that great of a team this year. We just talked about Boston, Detroit, but this is the thing. You take Detroit, minus 137, you can get it in some books. Minus 140. Boston's in an absolutely diabolically bad spot here. There's no way this should even be allowed to be a spot for a team to play in. If Boston wins this game, you have full rights to throw everything you can at anybody involved with that organization in Detroit, because when you've played 7 games on the road, all tough, barely had legs to beat the Islanders, you come back, you lose to the Rangers, which no reason to think you shouldn't lose to the Rangers. And then you have a back-to-back again, and you play 3 games in 4 nights. And Detroit's coming off a loss to Tampa. All they have to do here is outwork a Boston team that should be fucking exhausted. If they can't do that, if I'm the coach, I quit. That's it. I quit. if they lose this game. If I'm McClellan, I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I can't do anything with you guys. Bye. See ya. See ya. No more for me. Fuck you. No way you can lose that game. I didn't talk about this game before. Okay, we'll talk about it now. I didn't talk about a lot of games here. Okay, Toronto versus Pittsburgh. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I'm not taking Toronto to do anything. They're going to have, I don't know what goaltender in there. Pittsburgh actually has balls. Toronto does not. Toronto could win this game, I guess. I don't even know what goaltender they're going to be. Hillaby or something like that. It'll be Shelofs for Pittsburgh. I mean, Toronto should win this game. Nylander should be back in the lineup. Domi should be back in the lineup. But I'm not putting a single penny of my money on the Toronto fucking Maple Leafs. They didn't go to practice, and they practiced and they didn't celebrate Thanksgiving for this game. And Washington did Thanksgiving stuff and everything like that. And yeah, Toronto got 2 goals early because Thompson probably still had some turkey in his belly. And then Washington came back and just blew them out of the fucking water. I don't know. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I'm not going to put a lot on it because it's a bad Pittsburgh spot. I mean, it really is. Toronto really, really, really should win this game. No doubt about it. Pittsburgh had a struggle against Columbus, but I just don't trust them. I don't trust Toronto as far as I can throw them. Yeah, tough one to cap. Probably a draw too on that one. Yeah, we did talk about Minnesota and Buffalo. Should be a Buffalo spot. Colorado's coming off of a win against, it's a letdown spot for Minnesota here. I don't know what goaltender Buffalo is going to be in their merry-go-round of goaltenders. If they put the young guy in, I'll consider taking Buffalo fucking again. But I mean, after it's not like they didn't. It's not like they outplayed New Jersey. Obviously, I didn't watch the game because the game was already done before it was over. But this should be Buffalo here. It's Buffalo or pass, because Colorado or Minnesota coming off of a win like that in a travel spot that they're in, which I didn't really look at. Yeah, 3 games in 4 nights. Just had the big game against Colorado. Buffalo, 1 at home. Yeah, Buffalo's going for 1 game against Minnesota and going back home. Just pass the game. I don't really. Over. I think I settled on the over there. That's what I settled on, because Minnesota's scoring more. If they put Luukkonen in net, probably both teams are going to want to fight too much. It'll probably be back and forth and go with the over. That's right. Absolutely. I forgot about that. Utah, St. Louis. I'm going to drop a little bit on Utah here. Coming off that loss against Dallas. St. Louis coming in fat. Bad travel spot for St. Louis. Hofer in net. Utah's faster. As long as they don't get caught up in their size. They have a lot of size. St. Louis has a lot of size there. But I think Utah should be able to win this game. So I like Utah. And if it's Hofer, I'll probably take team total over with Utah. Vancouver, LA. What did I say about this? Take the over. Vancouver's just an over monster. They didn't get the over in San Jose. But at the end of that game, they look pretty drained. And they got so many injuries. LA needs to keep on winning here. Lost to Anaheim, so they're going to come in wanting to. They've been really talking about winning at home. Forsberg will be in net, and Patera or whatever will be in net for Vancouver, and I know he's not a good goaltender. So I'd be taking LA team total over. Some of these guys are coming up from the minors and I don't know much about them. That guy I know, he sucks. LA, first period puck line in regulation. I might even go on the puck line on that. Team total over. You should it's gonna have to be 3.5, but they should crush that game. Vegas versus San Jose, the line is stupid. San Jose should start getting respect here. I mean, Vegas, if they come out and actually want to win a game, they'll win this game. But they came out lazy against Montreal. Like I said, I call them the Buffalo of the West, except they're actually good, but they don't act good a lot. Buffalo looks like they should be good on paper sometimes, if you look at their team, but they don't act like they are, and they're not good. Vegas looks like they're good and does weird shit. They did outshoot Montreal. San Jose on a back-to-back in their defense, I don't really like it all that much. And with Nedeljkovic in net, this is a really good live game, I would say. I would wait in and I think we ended up taking the over in this game too. San Jose team total over. I don't think you're going to see much defense here. Vegas should think that they can outscore this team, and they should be able to go balls out against this team. They should. Are they going to? We'll see. They're a little funny that way. With all that being said, if you just want to take a straight line, the only thing you can do is take San Jose at plus 269. That's all you can do with this, because San Jose is getting undervalued pretty huge here compared to a Vegas team that is hit or miss and struggling and hasn't really won a lot of games right now. So that's what you would do with that. Should be Gustafsson for the Wild. Yeah, Gustafsson's not bad. I mean, it's just I don't know what Buffalo is. I don't know. Like, 1 minute they're coming together and beating the shit out of Chicago, and Thompson said if they think they're coming into our building and it's going to be easy for them, blah 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 blah. And then when Calgary comes in, it's easy as fuck against them. Like, it's almost like you got to just do the opposite the next day. So what are they going to do? My mind says if you outshoot New Jersey 42 to whatever, you should have your coach and your mindset should be, we played a really good game, didn't get a few saves, so we can go back and play that way again against Minnesota. And if we keep on playing like that, we can win games. How long has a coach been telling Buffalo players this for? 7 years? Does it ever fucking happen? No, it doesn't. So he fought tonight too. Like, this guy is leading the fucking team. I can only put money on Buffalo here. If I'm going to put money on anything, it's going to be Buffalo in the over. But as far as the side is concerned, it's the only thing you can do. This is a total letdown spot for Minnesota. 3 games in 4 nights. They just played like they've been highlighting this game forever. They just beat the Giant, and now they got to play like little old fucking Buffalo. So it is so easy for them to come in and not be able to have that much energy. Maybe Buffalo first period. Do you think Buffalo could fucking get a first fucking period in this spot? Like, you just came out against a team where you probably should have won. You got a team that's trying to get their energy up for a game that they don't really give a fuck. Buffalo first period. I'm going to throw money on that, and I'm probably going to come here tomorrow night, and I'm going to curse. Actually, no, tomorrow night. Am I going to be on tomorrow night? I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow night. But anyways, the next time I'm on, and I'm going to have a rant for you like a motherfucker, that Buffalo, 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 fucking Buffalo, 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 fucking Buffalo. like any other Buffalo. Oh, Rico, are you here? We got a little bit of time. You want to come on for a bit, or are you going to bed, buddy? You said you were going to sack out today. So. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point, Doug. You're a Wings fan, so you know. Like, McClellan must pull his fucking hair out with that team, man. It's unbelievable. I don't think it's like on their ass. They have no confidence, and they're bad. Like, let's not be crazy here. It's not just that. You cannot have Sherrod in your top pair. You cannot. That is absolutely, and think it's okay. You cannot do that. But yeah, all right. Thanks everybody for coming in. I forgot I clipped this, so I got to end it anyways. I love everybody out there. Here's a little Pearlo dance for you. Little Hymes body loop for the land. Hymes body loop. It's the best. There, I said it. Coming in suede scented. Oh, pearls. I forgot. We got suede pearls. I told you about that before. I tried them today. I put them in the Pearlocopter. And it smells like that 70s suede shit like that. And you know what pearls do, right? So you're all relaxed, comfortable, and all of that sort of stuff like that. So we're going to experiment with that. We got some rose pearl necklaces coming out, rose colored and scented for the lady, because every lady in the land needs a pearl necklace for Christmas. And we're going to send it out to everybody that shares this out right now to their Twitters and to their social media. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for coming in. Lots of love to you. That's my full 42. Okay.